Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today do I have a spicy one for you, and a seemingly competitive one at that. I've been playing this deck for the past 2 days, not too much game time in that time, but what I have been doing is being extremely impressed by this deck as I play through the Platinum ranks and just absolutely steamroll most of the decks that claim to be meta decks. We're going to be playing a deck that I like to call Channel Bomb, and it is based off of a card that we opened during a live stream doing rare drafting. We ended up opening 2 Brilliant Restorations, and I ended up forcing the deck, trying to get as many Colossal Sky Turtles, Mirror Shell Crabs, and Tanukis as I possibly could into my deck, in hopes of playing Brilliant Restoration to just win the game on the spot. Brilliant Restoration being 3 and 4 white for a sorcery that returns all artifacts and enchantments from your graveyard to the battlefield. So the idea is that we use these enchantments that have, enchantments and artifacts that have channel, which means you can discard them for an effect. In the case of Tanuki, you can discard it for 3 to put a basic land from your library onto the battlefield tapped, so 3 mana ramp spell. It's not like terribly overpowered, but you know, at the same time it's very welcome. The Mirror Shell Crab is a 3 mana counter unless you pay 3. Again, not terribly powerful, but very welcome as just a thing that can't be countered as well. That's something to note. Or it's very difficult to counter it as well, because this is not like a counter spell that's on the stack. This is an ability of a crab, so you have to have a counter target ability counter spell in order to stop the crab. So they need another crab, basically. But the whole point is to get these cards in our graveyard anyway. So if your opponent's countering your crab, then you've already got your crab in the graveyard. You've kind of achieved the goal you were looking for anyway, but you maybe just missed out on a little bit of value. And then there's also Colossal Sky Turtle, which has 2 effects. For 1 and a blue, you can return a target creature to its owner's hand, so it can be a 2 mana spell down here, as a nice little bounce spell to keep the creatures off the board. Or it can be a 3 mana spell, right down here, to make sure that you can get whatever card you want from your graveyard to your hand. A cool little cycle in the late game for this kind of card is not only does it allow you to recur your Brilliant Restorations, so you discard the Sky Turtle to get a restoration, then you restoration, the Sky Turtle gets reanimated. Not only can you do that, but you can also discard the turtle to get back any of your other channel cards. So what we could do is we could pay the 3 to get back a crab, and then pay the 3 on the crab to counter unless they pay 3. So that's an option available to us there. We could also channel the Touch of the Spirit Realm to exile an artifact or creature, and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So we can use this to flicker our opponent's things if we care about doing that. A lot of the time what we want to do is protect our Spirited Companion, because this one enters the battlefield and draws a card. It's a nice early game blocker. Or we could keep our Shigeki alive. Shigeki is a powerhouse in this deck. He's a 2 mana 1/3. You pay the 2 mana to return Shigeki to its owner's hand, so you put him in play. Return it to his owner's hand, put the top 4 cards of your library, and look at one of them to find a land. And if you find one, you get to put it onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest into your graveyard. The rest into your graveyard is very important, because we're trying to reanimate our graveyard. So while Shigeki is ramping us into restoration, he's also fueling restoration. And if he mills restoration, we can use his channel ability. This guy does everything. You can use his channel ability to return a non-legendary card from your graveyard to your hand. So you can return Brilliant Restoration in order to cast it, and because you channeled the Shigeki, it's in your graveyard, so you reanimate it, and you can do his first ability again. It's stupid good. Might want to put 4 in this deck, to be honest, but as you can maybe see, I've got 61 cards in here. That is for the mill matchup, but also because I kept winning with this deck, and I didn't really want to upset the balance of it. We're running 24 lands. I don't really want to go down to 23, and we've got 6 board wipes, and that seems to be doing the job just perfectly fine. Speaking of which, Divine Purge. This is the reason why we are playing in Alchemy. This card is absurd, and right now the meta is very focused around like a red-black artifact deck, and also clerics keep showing up a lot. So both of those matchups just absolutely get hosed by this card, and this barely touches our deck. So this is almost a one-sided board wipe. The only downside is it hits Spirited Companion and maybe a Shigeki. If it hits Spirited Companion, that's just a 4 mana draw a card available to us at any time we want it. so it's really not a big deal. Compared to our opponent, who loses all their blood tokens, all their treasures, all their blood artists, all of their anvil tokens, anything like that. Divine Purge just steamrolls it. This card needs nerfing. I'm just going to put that out there. This card cannot exist the way that it still exists. So I expect it to change. But until then, we're going to make the most of it. I think any deck that runs Divine Purge is probably good in this format. But yeah, we're just going to be blowing up the board. We're going to be filling up our graveyard and winning the game. This deck is a blast to play. I hope you guys enjoyed today's footage, because I absolutely adore this deck, and I'm looking forward to playing it forevermore. So yeah, enjoy the gameplay. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. And yeah, let's go. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in, and yeah, this hand is functional. If it's creature deck, we've got a little bit of removal. Later we can start countering some stuff or ramping. If they remove our circle, then the restoration can get it back and use it as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep this one. Shambling Ghast, Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Okay. It might be a matchup where Divine Purge is quite good here. Here's hoping. Red-black. Yeah, I think Divine Purge is going to be pretty good. It sweeps up treasures and all sorts like that, which is really nice. I don't know if I'm going to need Otawara in this matchup, other than maybe, I guess, grabbing a Planeswalker bounce, but they always get an activation, so it's kind of a little bit meh. We're going to get rid of one of these Shambling Ghast for now, I think. You can either choose to, you know, hit us and do their thing, or do some extra stuff. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So far, so good, though. There's Brilliant Restoration. I think I just want to go Restoration of Arganjo here, because it's going to give me a 3/4 that'll just block this board anyway. And I can Divine Purge on the next turn to avoid it getting hit. And then I get my 3/4 to follow up. I think that's going to be a really nice play. They can do their vampire thing. I don't think they actually want to set their blood tokens, right? So I think this is the like Oni Cult Anvil deck, but I guess if their hand is garbage, you would do that, which honestly just encourages me more and more to use the Divine Purge. It just says to me that there's probably not a good follow-up here. Lovely. So I can discard a card. I'm just going to discard the planes that they know about, I suppose, and put that into play. Then play my Cascade. And maybe just purge them. Yeah, I think I'm low enough on life that that's a good idea. This Hive of the Eye Tyrant's going to be annoying. Without a doubt. Could wait a turn, and then I've got like Sky Turtle, Bounce, Hive, plus Divine Purge to do the thing. So right now, if they activated Hive, I could counter it with the Mirror Shell Crab, but again, I've got that problem with Restoration of Arganjo here, where I'm going to feel sad if I have to purge it. So I think I'll just do it now. Gives them some 3-mana 1/1s to play around with. And right now we don't actually have anything in the graveyard that's relevant, so Hive isn't a big deal here. Blood Tithe Harvester. Okay. So you get twice the number of blood tokens as you activate this only as a sorcery. And you have to sack the Harvester as well. Am I really that bothered about that? I don't think I am. I think I'm just going to go Spirited Companion redraw. Looking for a land. We get a land. Fantastic. And then just hold up and crab. Yeah, I think that's fine. Hold up and crab, maybe bounce with Sky Turtle. possibilities are endless. Another harvester. They can pay for it, so let's say no to that. If they play one more spell, we can counter the harvester. They are going to go for it. Does that mean I want to Sky Turtle here? I guess I could. Just bounce the Architect here. And then block the Epicure if you attack in with it. Happy to do that. Yeah, any trades we can take are great trades. Because it's just making our Brilliant Restoration good a lot earlier. Touch of the Spirit Realm. Alright. So let's go Restoration, grab a Plains, play the Plains. And I think we're just going to preserve our life total here. And hit this Blood Tithe Harvester. What's the worst that could happen? I get to discard with the Restoration of Eiganjo, reanimating a Spirited Companion. I guess the worst that could happen is Hive of the Eye Tyrant gets in. They have, they've hovered their Hive quite a fair bit. So I guess that would be a thing that... Oh, rude. Rude. Ooh, Shigeki. Well, a free Shigeki's okay. And then I'm just going to pass with double crab here, because honestly, like, channeling crabs just to get them in the graveyard looks great here. Imagine they might want to crack a blood token if that unknown card is anything less than God tier. Because their alternative is a blind top deck or a 3-mana 1/1 that enters tapped. Not too into the idea of a 3-mana 1/1 that enters tapped. And yeah, more than happy to like double counter Hive of the Eye Tyrant if I have to, which I don't think I do. Going down to 8. Like even here, I think I'm still double countering this Shambling Ghast. They'll pay, I'll do it again, and then I'll restore, getting 2 crabs back. And these crabs are just going to be too much for our opponent. So I get a 3/4, I've got my Shigeki ready to go. I'm bringing back a turtle. And 2 crabs. You make it tapped, right? Yeah, the land enters tapped. So I'm just going to go ahead and restore now. Really happy with this board state. They're just going to have to burn me out here, otherwise I'm just going to ruin their day, I think. Sanguine Brushstroke is a way that they could burn me out. Getting a Blood Artist is certainly annoying. So it's lose life on blood tokens, yeah, and they've got 4 of them, so I've got to bear that in mind. I don't have a great way of gaining life here, so finding exactly Circle of Confinement would be very nice. So let's get rid of Blood Artist. That's going to be a huge deal for me. We're going to swing in with everyone but Shigeki. So we're going to activate Shigeki. Budget Brimaz gets in, makes a token. Ooh, Sokenzan, okay. So a couple of chump blockers here. Without the Blood Artist, though, it's not really a big deal. I think I am going Shigeki now, because I can replay him, and I could play something maybe off of Shigeki as well. I think I'm just going to replay him, though. Although, I do get to recur Brilliant Restoration, which is a crab. A Restoration of Eiganjo and a Tanuki, but I don't know if that's really going to be a big deal. I guess if they have a sweeper, I'm going to have to care, and honestly, this board is just going to end the game without the 1 point from Shigeki here. So, they get a lot of redraws. I've got a double block for the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. So I'm taking 2 in combat. As seemingly a worst case right now, that is. Onical Anvil. Down to 6. Down to 5. It's going to be a close one, but I think this is game. They've got to be able to block my board, which includes the Sky Turtle, which has Ward 2. And, yeah, not going to be good enough. This is one of our pretty good matchups. Sometimes it gets quite close, because we don't really gain much life, so the drain can be a little bit of a big deal for us if the game goes on long enough, but the game typically doesn't go on long enough. These Ward 3s and these Ward 2s, the big toughness stuff, usually heavily limits what our opponent can do with their deck. But yeah, that Sokunzan kept them alive. Sweet art, by the way. And yeah, we got there. On to the next one. Alrighty then, we're in. We've got turn 2 Shigeki or Foretell Doomscar. Probably don't need to Foretell the Doomscar because we have the Divine Purge. And then on turn 3, we can either bounce Shigeki or Mirror Shell Crab. This hand does a lot that it can do. Blood Fountain, so it looks like it might be the red-black deck again, which second Divine Purge, always welcome in this matchup. Yeah, I mean, just imagine, as this game progresses, how many artifacts and creatures just get absolutely swept up by this, and how many of them don't come back as well. So remember, like, tokens that our opponent will create, treasure tokens, blood tokens, all get hit by Divine Purge, but they don't get to recast them with that tax the same way they would just a normal creature. It's actually a Mardu deck. It is still the Anvil list, but a Mardu deck nonetheless. I haven't seen a Mardu variant. I don't know what the white would be for. Okay, they get to make a 1/1. I get to hold up my Crab plus Shigeki here, Shigeki being ramp that fills my graveyard and eventually gets back Brilliant Restoration. Shigeki just does everything in this deck. He's a workhorse. I could counter this, I'm not going to. I fear they wouldn't pay for it and then they would just play something else that's better. That's worthy of a Crab, I think. Snatch that up while I can. So I'm already not allowing them to attack in for 1 here. And they do run Village Rites in their list, so that could be what they're planning to do here, or maybe just drain me with an Anvil. Yep, shot. Just a 1-point drain's always welcome. Another Crab. Well, I'm going to play Otawara. And yeah, I guess I'm still just holding. I'm kind of now at the stage of... Well, I'm definitely countering that. Alright. Feeling very happy I did this. That's one of the cards that can get us in this matchup. The Brushstroke sticking around, not being hit by any of our cards here. The only way we can interact with it is on the stack. So getting to hit, that's nice. I just want a natural land drop here. Turn a blood token into a construct. Got the Sky Turtle. Okay, so that's a bouncer creature at the moment. Really could do with hit my land drops. Maybe we take the turn off just to Shigeki. Replace Shigeki. We wouldn't be able to do that. We don't have double green. Yeah, I think I'm just, well, opponent's had enough. I was thinking out my turn. They probably don't like people who think about their turns. So, yeah. I think I was just gonna pass again. You know, we've skipped like 3 land drops. You gotta imagine we're gonna hit another one. But, yeah, double Divine Purge. This matchup is over. It's just so over. We got 2 crabs in there. Probably going to have 3, maybe 4 creatures as 5 7s and 6 5s coming back in the not too distant future. Shigeki mills everything that he doesn't pick up as well. So that can help us find our Brilliant Restoration. It can also help us fill up value for our restoration. It's just a pretty solid matchup overall. On to the next one. Alrighty then, we're in. We've got a turn 2 circle. Any land gets us a turn 3 purge or just single target removal. We're looking for a green source for the Tanuki, but being on the draw, I think I'm happy to keep this hand. Got Doomscar we can foretell onto as well, so if you don't need to use the circle, that's good. Really hoping to dodge blue-white at all times here. Black-white, okay. I guess black-white control is not a matchup I've played against. Clerics, on the other hand, is, and honestly, this matchup is just hilariously good. I think I'm going to start with the Circle of Unity here, rather than the redraw. I'm trying to think. Doomscar gives away too much. And, yeah, I think I just want to get rid of the Angel of Unity here. Honestly, short of them disrupting my hand, this Divine Purge is just going to ruin their day. It always does. There isn't a match that I've played in this particular format where Divine Purge is not just, like, absolutely backbreaking. So, they're going to have to benefit a little bit from me being mana screwed, but once I get into this game, it's over. Like, they can make big creatures, but they just don't stick around, and I can recur Divine Purge easily. I absolutely do not mind getting my Spirited Companion either blocked here or, you know, purged later down the line. There's our green source, and honestly, 7 points on board. I think it's a perfectly acceptable Divine Purge here. Wouldn't be surprised if they scooped right now, just knowing that that's in my deck. We are on the hard cast Doomscar, but which is fine. That means I can play my Restoration, getting back some of my stuff. Yep, sure, Spellbinder's okay. We do get quite big on our mana, so let's see what they want to do here. Like, they can do the Tanuki, which stops me from channeling it, because I can't discard it from my hand. So that's a line that they could take. I'm just going to go with the Restoration here, I think. Right? Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's take the Restoration. That's going to give me a Spirited Companion later down the line. And it puts me on Doomscar mana now, which they were trying to take me off. I also have the taxed Divine Purge, of course. Opponent's in a lot of trouble. If they don't play to the board, I single target removal. If they play to the board, I sweep. So, yeah, we've basically got creature decks on lock with this list. Opponent is thinking, shall I play into this Purge? Because if I have a land drop, anything that goes onto it just dies. Including Pyre of Heroes, by the way. Discard a permanent. I'm going to get rid of the Touch of the Spirit Realm here, I think. Because I'm going to get back a Spirited Companion. And I'm still just going to Divine Purge. Again, I just don't really care about my Companion getting purged. It means it enters the battlefield later, if I need it to. So, take care of the Pyre, take care of all three, all the 2 creatures. I have a redraw here. And I'm getting a 3/4 as well to block on the ground. Opponent could play a Pyre for their entire turn. And this is kind of the power of Divine Purge. This card needs nerfing. It really does. It is far too good for its own good. Alright, we're going to channel Greater Tanuki here. Getting a forest, because our Restoration gets all the planes. And then we're going to foretell a Doomscar. I don't have to worry about foretelling the revealed one, because the game actually just removes one of the seen ones. So this is the Doomscar they know about, even though this was actually the Doomscar they saw. Just a nice little user interface thing. So I can block and kill their Purifier so they don't get that end step trigger if they try to attack in with it. Sigardian Evangel. So that taps my Restoration and puts an Evangel in their hand. Which they could play, I suppose. Looks like they're just going to go for the Purifier. And draw. Is that your plan? You lose the Evangel if you don't play it, and you lose the Evangel if you do. We're at that stage. But it's going to lose the Evangel. Okay. And then draw from the Purifier. Alright. Gotta be aware of Eiganjo as well in this matchup. It would kill my Architect. So I'm going to do Restoration of Eiganjo. Grabbing another Plains. Got one last Plains in the deck, something to remember. Gonna swing for 3. Making a 1/1 that can block the Evangel, so if they don't block with it, they can't really attack with it either. So they're gonna take 3, and I'm just gonna take my redraw here. Sweeping my own board actually provides me some value. Sky Turtle's a nice pickup. So right now, Restoration is just a touch of the Spirit Realm and a Tanuki, which is honestly not terrible. It's not great, and we can play the Restoration again many times in this matchup. So it's not as though if this card isn't game-winning that you shouldn't cast it, because Sky Turtle can get it back, and Shigeki can also do it. There's Aura. Aura does not die to... what's its face? Ooh, we got an Eiganjo, though. I'm going to discard a land here, maybe? Yeah, I think just discarding a land's fine. Just getting a little bit of ramp there, because I think I might actually hold my Eiganjo. Let's swing with... I think we'll swing with everyone, maybe. I don't know. Does that make sense? It doesn't quite make sense. I can do the Architect, though, and I can Eiganjo if they double block. I'm really looking to kill Aura, like, first. So this is either a free 3-pointer, or it's a nice little Eiganjo blowout. So I'm going to hit the Aura, which does let them reanimate looking at Evangel, so it's just an Evangel. Couldn't care less about that, it's not really going to give them that much value. They want to tap my companion, because I want that companion to die. It's going to tap the Architect of Restoration, sure. And then... I think we're just going to pass the turn. Yeah, let's just pass the turn. Discard that Evangel. They've got so many cards in their hand, it's a shame that they're all extremely expensive and taxed. Lunarch Veteran. We also don't care about their life total getting too high. 27 is still a number that we have to be aware of because of the Righteous Valkyrie. Is there any of these cards I want to get back? I could get back Divine Purge. You see, that's kind of like our opponent's big problem here, is I can sweep their entire board again. And be kind of happy with doing it myself. I'm going to get back a card. I don't know if it's going to be Divine Purge, though. I think I might just go, like, Tanuki, maybe. I just want this turtle in my graveyard. Yeah, let's go Tanuki. And I might just Doomscard the board away. Trying to set up a restoration hand, so I'm happy to see like a trade with a companion, but I don't expect that. I expect a double block on Architect of Restoration here. I mean, they know I've got something in my Fatale Zone. And in theory, it could only really be a Doom Scar. I don't really even have to fire it off yet, which is kind of the fun part. I already have an Otawara in place, so I'm just going to pass. I can flicker Companion with Touch of the Spirit Realm, I can bounce with Otawara, and I can ramp with Greater Tanuki. And I can sweep the board whenever I like. And at some point I will happily sweep the board. In fact, I probably will intentionally sweep the board. Just to get these enchantments and this companion into my graveyard. But yeah, we're gonna channel the touch, I think, and redraw on companion. There's at least one of our moves here. And do some chump blocking, because there's no sense in us taking damage. We don't need to. Right, so unfortunately the game didn't give me a chance to channel before they went to their end step. It's one of the things this game does a lot, which is it doesn't respect channel timing rules. Not a big fan of them not respecting my channel rules. But yeah, I do really want this Touch of the Spirit Realm in my graveyard anyway. Because at some point that's going to be good. Let's go Cascade. See if we can get some free points of damage in before we sweep the board here. Expect just some easy blocks here. I mean, this should just scream board wipe. I can't imagine they think I've got a combat trick. Yep, okay. So they know I'm sweeping the board. It was about time. Okay. It's always worth a try, though, for the most part. Sometimes it's not worth a try. Yeah, we've done that. We're going to foretell this, just in case they have another Spellbinder. And draw a card. The Restoration. Not going to do too much in this matchup. We've only got one Plains left in our deck, I think. I believe that's what we counted. So now we've got a Tanuki, a Sky Turtle, a Banishing Light, 2 Restorations of Iganjo, another Banishing Light. I've seen better graveyards. I think we're not in any particular rush to fire it off either. Really want to see like Shigeki. Shigeki's very good at milling. Mirror Shell Crab. Okay. Okay. I'm going to hold back the Companion as well, because I'll just chump block like crazy if they offer that as well. So I think this should get the last Plains out of my deck. It certainly did. We'll play that. We'll pass the turn. We're in a little bit of a greed mode right here, because honestly, I do very much want this crab in my graveyard. I think once I've got crab in the graveyard, I'll be happy to Restoration. Our opponent will probably concede to it. Vanishing Verse. I mean, yeah, sure. I'll counter that. I might even have the mana to Doom Scar then Restoration here. Just got Cave of the Frost Dragon to care about, but once I've got my turtle in play, then I don't have to care about it. So we've got perfect information here. We're ready to fire off everything we've got. There's a Phantom. Play the Spellbinder. Sure. Do your thing. There he goes. Strangely still castable. The value is still there. So if they attack here, I get a free companion. Off the chapter 2. Because this Ottawa is kind of bad. Well, now this farmland's just kind of bad as well. I really just want this as a spell that I can use. So, bring back the companion. Get a touch of the spirit realm. So, yeah, I have enough to do touch of the spirit realm, exile companion, play brilliant restoration, bring back the team, exile theirs, double exile theirs, decline some searches, and have a board state worthy of a king. Lovely. Yeah, that's like kind of on the weaker of the board states as well that you can get out of this, but like that's 17 damage facing them down. They're only at 24 and from a life gain deck as well. Yeah, the thing is, Divine Purge just absolutely wrecks. Yeah, creature decks just, unless they win extremely quickly or they have that long game potential like the Rakdos deck kind of does with a bit of drain that we can't really mess around with. Our deck could use a little bit of life gain, I suppose, to counteract something like that. Maybe we want like a Catilda or two, maybe. I don't know. That could be a thing. But yeah, we're very good at beating this kind of deck, so sweet. On to the next one. Alrighty then, we're in. We've got our restoration, we got some early game removal, and we got our ramp to get to our restoration, which is going to give us 2 6/5s at least by the looks of it. Gonna keep this one. Hoping to dodge the control matchups as always. Got Tenacious Pup. Alright, well, luckily for us, we don't actually play anything on turn 1, because we'd much rather confine something on turn 2, and Pup actually boost the power of their next play, which might be something like a Rahilda, maybe? Ooh! That's extremely odd, but okay. Play our planes. We're not going to hit a 1-2. So just pass the turn here. Yeah, that's going to actually make our lines of play a little awkward. Wickerwing Effigy. That's strange. Yeah, so now I could do Touch of the Spirit Realm or Confinement. I guess I would rather do Confinement, even though it's less mana efficient. Yeah, what a weird line where they wanted to give Vigilance a +1/+1 counter and Trample to a 1/4. Inquisitor Captain, okay. And they hit Innkeeper. Alright, we would like a sweeper now, thank you. Be so kind. Okay, we can play a Deserted Beach here. And yeah, we're just gonna channel the Tanuki. Could hit the Captain just so that we've got less damage on board. I might need to do that soon, but for now I think I'm going to try and do the Tanuki so that maybe the Touch of the Spirit Realm can be involved in a 2-turn spell. A 2-spell turn. Okay, they got Voice of the Blessed. What a strange little combination of cards. Lifelink and Indestructible. Okay, so Divine Purge. Where are you? Where art thou? Alright, well, we're just going to do this. We've got 3 out of 4 of our white, so let's just make sure that we've got all 4 white. Hello. Sweet. Alright, so we're going to purge the board. Which gets rid of the treasure token, gets rid of the Ollenbach Escort's ability to do anything about this. And, yep, that's pretty good. We play our land, we play our Tanuki, and we're ready to Restoration from this point forward. Which is, I think, just the 2 Tanukis that we were talking about. But a matchup like this, we're not really in a rush to just fire off a restoration for 2 6/5s. I think I'd much rather just like use my Ottawa or use my Touch of the Spirit Realm to see if we can fill up the graveyard a little bit, looking for a Shigeki, something along those lines. Yeah, very strange line of play, not gonna lie. I guess the Wicker Wing makes sense for a deck like this because a lot of your creatures end up just being 1/1s and 2/2s. And in the case of Voice of the Blessed, it would be a 1/1 that grows bigger anyway. But yeah, Tenacious Pup seems to rub the wrong way against a card like this, but we won. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, I think. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's video, and if you have, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content in the future. I do highly recommend playing this deck. I think you probably could get to Mythic using it. I think I'm 9-2. At the moment with this list, so yeah, it's really good. We've been dodging control, and as long as you can keep doing that, I think you're in an upward trajectory, like almost exclusively, without much hurt whatsoever from the format. It's all very creature based, it's all very artifact based. All of these things that Purge absolutely destroys. I think any Purge deck right now is the deck that you should be playing. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Take care. And peace.